Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of a knife that I've had in my collection for a while. This is the Vero Engineering Mini Lux, or the 3.3. Alright, today we're looking at the Vero Mini Lux. This is the 3.3. I've owned the full Lux. Fantastic knife. Very large, big, a little too large for me. So I went and got the Mini, and I thought, oh, let's check this out. I really like it. Now, you'll notice a couple of things. First off, I do have the Timascus. It almost looks like Zerkutite. I don't know if it's Timascus. It lists as Timascus, but this looks like a Zerkutite almost to me, but maybe it's Timascus. Maybe it's just the anodization's not quite as dark. Looks like maybe the light version of it hasn't really gone to the next deep, rich blue colors. And maybe they went for the purple because of the different layers. It's not as latticed as you normally would see it. So anyways, I can always fire that up and maybe change that if I wanted to. It's certainly something I'm comfortable doing. I still like it, by the way. It is an extra thing to add to that. Usually his little upgrade kits lately were about around 175 bucks extra to add to the knife. So this is the Mini Lux hollow grind made by Riot Knives. This does have the honeycomb lattice hollow weight relief inside, which makes it very light and very strong in the sense. You can see the Timascus on the inside. The hollow grind, we've got like nice clip point. I would call this a clip point, not a drop point. It does have a beautiful swedge on top, beautiful polished, stone-washed finish on this thing. I think it's really nice. Has the fuller on the one side, which is typical. You do have the flipper, the little hidden flipper here, and then you have the front flipper over here as well. Now, the designer is Joseph Vero. He's the one who designed this one. The larger version, as far as ease of access and things like that, I like that a little bit more. This one was a little challenging when I first got this, and I'll talk about what I did to this one to make it like really great for me. May not be your cup of tea, but for me it worked because I got large hands with big meaty fingers, and that was always a challenge for me sometimes on certain knives. The designer, Joseph Vero, Riot is the OEM that designed it, and the company is Vero Engineering, obviously Joseph Vero. The scale materials, we're dealing with titanium. We have now typically had a titanium clip and a titanium backspacer. I added the Timascus upgrade kit here, and same with the collars as well. We do have M390 blade steel on here. As you can see, this is number 497, but this is M390 blade steel on this guy. So that is what the steel was. I think, I can't remember if it was either the regular size Nova or the regular size Lux. One of those was Magna Cut. I know typically he does M390, but one of those was Magna Cut. This one's M390 as well. You know, especially with Carpenter going kind of out of business and being picked up with over in Sweden, I think is where they're now making some of those steels for the Magna Cut. So I think they're ramping up and getting things together to do that, right? So anyways, you can see that beautiful hollow grind. I love the hollow grind. It's really, really nice, by the way. Super slicey. I did resharpen this. I create a re-apex the edge because I was having a little hard time cutting. It was a very short edge, so I wanted to, I think he was probably at 25 degrees, maybe higher. I brought it down to about 20 degrees, 19, 20 degrees. And to me, that worked a little bit better, made it more slicey for the M390, I think. So I did enjoy that. The Loctite, it is a frame lock. You do have a cutaway here. Now, originally, as you can see, there's no extra cutaway, right? So that's the first thing. Second of all, it was radiused chamfered in here, and that means it's like cut like a circle. And that can be okay as long as you have a cutaway and you get to it and you can get your finger in there. When it's kind of tight between two things, the edges get kind of pokey on big old meaty fingers. It's hard to get a big meaty finger in there. So that was a little uncomfortable, and I was about to ready just to give up on the knife and everything. And I'd been modding my knives a little bit, and I have a Ken Onion belt sharpener, and I decided to kind of open that up. So I made this a little smoother, opened this access up over here so my finger can get in there. I also took the really sharp edge on this radius chamfering off here. I softened that. So now that I'm making contact over here, I have better access for my finger to get in there, and I can get in. And so not only can I get in, when I can release that, I can also catch it right here on the choil area. So it's not guillotining on my finger, which to me, that was an issue before because I couldn't quite get in there. My hand was way out here. I would have to clear this, and I'd be out here with it, with the edge would hit my finger or cut me, and so that made it not fun, no bueno for me. Right? You know, I wanted it. I like to fidget with my knives, and so I could after that. So it may not be something you want to do. Maybe you can ask a knife modder to do it. Something I've done. I've done it on quite a few knives now, actually, and some really nice knives. I did it on my McNeese Dixon. I did it on my Tasca 2, my R&H Tasca 2. I've done it on my Javi Garcia Nova, which is ironic because I have a Vero Engineering Nova, Mini Nova I love as well. But the Javi Garcia Nova, I did it as well because there's just, you know, large hands with big meaty fingers. There's knives that sometimes we just can't enjoy unless we make the knife more ergonomically friendly to our ergos. And that's what I did. I decided to go ahead and do that. I get sometimes, you know, knives have a specific target audience, and, you know, people with skinnier fingers and longer fingers, you know, they may not understand that necessarily or see that issue. The reason why, if you have a skinnier, smaller finger, it's easier to get your finger in there and hit that just right. When you have a big old thumb like this, that could literally, I could have 3 knives, or at least 2 knives, full knives I could cover, right? In the insides, I could do that for 3 knives. So for me to get in there, I have to contort my finger to get down there like that. And that's unnatural. So I needed a little extra space, and opening that up really helped. And so I got in there and cleared, and now it's great. And so the detent that you got to clear is right there. Once I clear the detent right there, it can come down, and now it's fidgety, right? So now I can make this a fun, all-day flipping fun knife, right? So I enjoy that. Anyways, that's what I did, made it fun. That's how I did the opening and closing. That was a huge deal. But as far as Loctite, the frame lock is great. Steel bar insert over travel stop. It locks up really well. Beautiful chamfering all the way around. No hot spots anywhere. The clips, no hot spots. It does have that little duckbill, which is okay. I don't mind it. It's not. I'm not a big. I sometimes wish it could kind of come up a little bit, not go out too far. Maybe come up and just kind of stop as it just goes out. To me, that, you know, then that's okay. But it's nice in the regard that here, you know, if I had the chance, if there was a reverse flake, I could do something more here. But not for this one. This only has the fuller on one side, which is okay. I'm okay with that, right? I know that's a Vero Engineering specific. I've seen custom knife makers do that too, so that's all right too. You can do the knuckle flip, which is always nice, right? I think if I can still get there, I thought I could do yeah, I've just got to do it here. Yeah, I can do the reach around as well. That's something else you can do. So I do enjoy that. Blade M390 we talked about. Let's do some measurements. Let's see how much this guy weighs real quick. I think it's like 3.2 ounces, something like that. It's not super heavy. 2.8 wasn't even close. 2.7, in fact, 2.7. So this is relatively light. It is truly a definition of a mini, and it has a lot to do with that honeycomb weight relief. I don't know if you can see that in there. There's that honeycomb weight relief. It really does work well, and it's solid, but it takes a lot of weight. So that, like, here's this. Let's see, where's the center? Yeah, right over here. Now that's because I have this Timascus. I think that added weight to it. Definitely, this is a little heavier than I think the regular titanium. I'm pretty sure it is, because I thought when I had it without it, it was like up here somewhere. Anyways, all right. So let's do the measurements on here. How long is this? Now, it's not the big one like the other one was almost 9 inches, but it's about just shy of 7¼ inches. Let's get to that tip. Yeah, just shy of 7¼ Just 1/16 or 1/32 shy of 7¼ All right. With the choke up position here, you got 4 inches of handle. So large hands. I can come all the way up to here. I have extra room, so extra large, double extra large, hands with big meaty fingers. If I go back here, fits right at the limit. Right here at the limit, I'm okay. But typically I would hold it up here. There is jimping here, functional. It does allow you to go over comfortably. You squeeze down, you're locked in. I do like that. That's nice. That's nice. All right, so let's look at the blade length. The blade length is right at 3, and I want to say 3 3/8. Yeah, maybe 3 3/8. The actual cutting length is 3 1/4. So it's not super small, but it's not. It's not super small, but it's not big for sure. All right, the blade stock thickness on this guy is 138 thousandths of an inch, right? 138, yeah, 139 thousandths of an inch. Very consistent. So it's not super thin, but we get away with it because we got this beautiful hollow grind that works really, really nice, and it's very slicey. I do like that hollow grind a lot, so that's very cool. Sorry about that. So I think it's pretty cool. Nice, edgy, everything. All right. What else? Oh, okay. Let's do the knife category. So what does this knife cost? So we're looking at, are we looking at a super budget knife or a budget knife? Absolutely not. All right, so the knife is $340. That's what they're selling this for now. The Timascus kit now is $195. So I know prices do go up, and maybe there was I got it when it was first dropped, and it was a little cheaper for the first time, folks, but $195 for this Timascus clip. So we're looking at a $635 knife here, right? I think it's really fantastic. Vero Engineering, a lot of people are like, that's really expensive. He charges some, you know, you can say that all you want, but his stuff sells out because it's just designed well. I mean, he's got an aesthetic and a design aesthetic that just works, and it's really wonderful. I had his automatic that I got at Blade Show that I loved. It was my favorite automatic knife, but I did have to sell some knives recently for the sake of the channel to get more stuff. Because I have kids in college and I just can't afford to keep buying stuff. So I had to sell some knives to move some inventory so I could buy some more knives, right? That's just the way it works for me, especially with kids in college. And yeah, it's just a reality. But I very much enjoyed that one. I enjoyed this. It is not super inexpensive, but I think it's worth it. If you know, a lot of people will say, well, it's too much. Well, it may not be worth it to you, but it's worth it to the people who buy it and they sell out. So whether you agree or not, that is okay. You don't have to agree because you don't have to buy it. That's absolutely okay. Now, I will tell you, he has an Avid one, which is his budget version that just came out, and that's like $185, and it's more reasonable, and it has the same aesthetic, some beautiful design elements. Go check it out if maybe this is not your cup of tea. But if you like the little fancier and stuff like this, then this might be your cup of tea. Now, I like this knife so much that I decided to mod it, and I showed it to Joseph Vero, and I was hoping he wouldn't be mad, and what he told me made me just super happy. I really appreciate this about Joseph. He said that, he goes, I love the fact that people have a knife and they make it their own and they do something to the knife that makes it uniquely their own. And he goes, that means that that knife is something that is meaningful to them. And that makes me happy. And so I was like, yeah, dude, that's a right answer, man. That is like, not only do you affirm your customers, not only do you say, you know, you're confident in your own design, that you're okay, you know, you're not threatened by what people do, but you appreciate it because now you see that people love your design so much that they're willing to make it uniquely their own. I think that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, and I've got to always remember that. I think it says a lot, right? And so I appreciate that. So Joseph, if you happen to see this video, which he may not, because I'm not a super giant channel, right? Might be hitting 10K this year. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not like, you know, the super gigantic channels, but he is an awesome dude, and I appreciate that him and his whole team, just really fantastic. And if he does see it, Joseph, man, you're awesome, dude. Seriously, I appreciate you. That was like the best answer in the world. You made me so happy when you said that, and made me happy about what I have here. So, yeah, there's a couple of my Veros I just can't get rid of, right? And there's one that I did sell, and I only sold it because I needed to buy other knives, right? And I've had a lot, right? And I don't. Okay, so the thing is, the automatic. It's one of those, if I had all the money in the world, I would never gotten rid of it. To be fair, I would never gotten rid of it. But I don't normally carry automatics. I have one automatic my wife bought for me. It's the one automatic in my collection. It's the only automatic that's ever stayed in my collection because my wife bought it for me for an anniversary present. And I will not get rid of a gift like that, right? If someone gives me a knife that's specifically gift, I don't get rid of it. So just there you go. But the Mini Vero and the Mini Nova, and I also have the Axon. I have the fixed blade Axon, which is really good too, by the way. Those are things I enjoy very much keeping in my collection. So just keep that in mind. All right, so that puts this knife into, let's say we're in the 340, we're at the high end, right? If you don't do the Timascus upgrade thing. If you do the Timascus kit upgrade, you are definitely into the mid to custom level because you're in the 635 range, right? So you go buy this new, unless you find it secondhand, you could get a pretty good deal if you find it secondhand maybe, but it would definitely be into that range. I think it's worth it. I love it. So purpose, EDC hard use collection piece, yeah, all the above. I think this could absolutely be a EDC regular carry. It could absolutely be a hard use. I have no problem being hard use with these, especially the frame locks. The design is just solid. It works really well, especially when you sharpen this up, right? And a collection piece too, sure, but it's also, it looks nice. Now, having learned how to use a creme brulee torch and how to fix anodization like this now, I have no problem carrying these because I can fix this if it wears off or if I scratch it, right? I can polish that up and I can make it look really nice again. So I'm not worried about that anymore, personally. So I have no problem carrying a knife like this. Now, if it's electrical anodization, that's different. I don't know quite how to do that. So that's something new for me still. But I really, really, really like this particular design a lot. I think he just did such a great job on this one. This is a fun one to carry. This is just really great. So, and then the little fuller, the thumb hole. It's actually a fuller technically. I won't call it a thumb hole. It's a fuller right here. Works really fantastic. So, yeah. But you do you. If you want to just make this a safe queen, that's fair. That's fair. People do that all the time. Ergo's feel and action. The handles. Let's look at the overall design. The handles are great, comfortable, choked up, comfortable. The clip, no hot spots, works really great. I like that, first of all. Opening and closing. I think it's great. The flipper works. The front flipper works, right? The little single one side fuller works. All that works really great. And in left hand, it works really as well, right? And I can do the flip there as well. Now I can do a thumb flick. I just can't do a reverse flick over here because there's nothing. So all that works really fantastic. I like that. I like that a lot. The textures. There is no texture technically on here. There is jimping, which you could sort of call texture jimping. This jimping is really done well. Nice. Move over it easily. Push down. You're locked in. That's great. Fantastic. There is no lanyard. Typically, you don't see lanyards on Vero Engineering's. I think the Nova had that exception, might have had one. I can't remember. One of his knives had that. So no lanyard here. The clip is great. It works. I just wish that it wouldn't go out too far, maybe a little less, but otherwise it works great. Hidden hardware, fantastic. Plenty of clearance. Nice flexibility. Works really solid. I love all that. It's great. It's great. Whether it's titanium or Timascus, I think they're fantastic. Overall feel, Ergos. Ergos are great. It's comfortable in hand, like I said. Grip, textures, everything holds it. It's just really comfortable. It's a really functional knife. You can lock in here, right? I love the swedge on top, which is always beautiful aesthetic, but it has a functional design. When you cut through heavy stuff like leather, plastic, cardboard, it allows you like a rudder to turn the cut. There's actually engineering and physics behind there. It allows you to turn that cut better. But this is very functional. I like that. Action is great. Flip is solid. The front flip is solid. The fuller flip is solid, right? All that stuff. And then the fidgety, the close, it gets better and better. More and fidgety fun. It doesn't quite have that super glide close yet. I feel like I'm super close on that one. I do. I feel like I'm super close on that one. So now notice I slipped over here because I'm way back over here trying to grab the edge. If I just put my finger here, it works, right? I just got to put my finger on and it works. So just don't be lazy, Robert. And don't pull back, push down. That's the thing. If I go out like this, you're trying to, I guess I'm trying to do a light switch. To me, it's like almost a push button. You push button, which is, I don't know if it's technically a light switch push button. I don't know, but it does work. So, all right. So that's the action. The design flow it's a Vero Engineering. I love this look. The Lux is it's a sexy knife. It looks nice. I like it. It looks great. The function, it's absolutely great. The hollow grind, super great. I mean, I did resharpen it for my edge that I like for how I cut things, and so now it works really great. And obviously, right, it'll shave my hair right off, right? You can tell someone who sharpens a lot by if they're bald patch on one side and then the other. That's because we like to sharpen and test it, right? So anyways, yeah, so function is great. Fidget factor, flipper, front flipper, one-sided fuller, which works well. I can even get up here. I could even over the top reach around, right? So over here, left-handed, get in there, right? Flip, right? I can even do the knuckle flip right here. Oops, if I just get in there, hold on. All that works great. All that works very solidly. So what do I think? It has more than your traditional, so I'm going to give this a 7. This is a 7 as far as fidgety goodness. Now, it only has one fuller on one side. That's why I'd give it an 8 if I could do it both sides, but this is a pretty deep fuller, so it works really, really well all the time over here because you can get in there and always well executed for a reverse flick with the right hand and a thumb flick with the left hand. So, which is kind of nice because you're dealing with a lock bar, and it's great to get in there. And reverse flick with a lock bar sometimes it can be frustrating, right? It can be frustrating. So the fact that you're just kind of guided to do it this way, it's like you're not gonna accidentally push down. You're always gonna be executing well. Just like over here, I'm always gonna be away from the lock bar. So I mean, I can't, you know, it works. It works. So I'm gonna give it a 7. Fidgety goodness on this one. Before I fixed this, I would say the fidgety goodness was probably, I'm gonna give it would have been an 89. It would have been a B plus. Right? A B plus. It was good. It just was uncomfortable for my big meaty fingers. After I did this little fix, you know, made this smoothed out, a little more access, took the sharp edge off of there, was able to get my finger in there, be able to close it like this. I'm gonna give this, and I'm only saying it's not quite there yet because I probably need to open up just a little bit more. I did this was one of my first experiments, and I got it polished up so it looks natural and doesn't look terrible or anything. So I'm gonna give this one a 98. No, I'm gonna give it a 99. You're like, why don't you just give it 100? Now, I'm taking 1 point off, you know, because it's not quite where I want it to be yet, and I think it could be better, right? I'm not 100% happy with it. I'm very happy with it, but I'm not 100% happy with it. And I think I can get it to 100 with what I want to do. But again, it requires me to do something. If you wanted to do that, if you're comfortable doing that, go for it. If you're not, you might need a modder. Hire a modder, somebody that mods knives. They could probably do that for you. I enjoy doing this. And this was fun. I enjoy doing this on my knives. I don't do this for other people. Don't have the time. I do not have the time. And I'm not a professional modder, and people wouldn't want to pay me for what I do, right? I do this on my knives because I enjoy it. And if I'm not perfect, if I mess up, I'm okay with that, right? You know, I'm not an expert, and I would not want to handle somebody's super expensive knife and mess it up. Yeah, I don't feel that confident, but this is a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this quite a bit. All right, based on that, a 90, how it is here, right? Now, like I told you, it's a B+, it's a 80, 89 with the standard cutout here. I personally, it's just my opinion. My opinion, take it or leave it, right? Take it or leave it. I think this knife would be served better if Joseph might consider removing that radius chamfering. I'm not a fan of that in smaller knives. It can become uncomfortable. It digs in. It just doesn't complement a beautiful design like this. I think it works better on bigger knives, so you have more room, more access, but big meaty fingers always have a challenge with that. And I've seen that over and over again. And I feel like this knife would be served better because it's so much better once I did this. So I don't know if he'll ever consider that. I mean, he may have very specific design elements, and anything that he would do to do that, he might be a different knife that he's thinking of in his mind. And I get it, right? This is this knife, and he may have already be designing some other Lux, Vero, Axon, Nova, Synapse hybrid sort of thing, you know? And because Joseph's always coming up with new stuff, right? So if that's the case, then I get it. But I would love for him to do that. I've seen a few knives where they didn't do that, and it hurt them. And if there's a little fix like that, it could be, those are the small touches that sometimes really can hurt or help a knife, right? That's just my 2 cents on that. Agree to disagree. You can tell me I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. For me, that's important, right? Maybe I'm the only one who sees that as important, and that's fine. But for me, this knife is beautiful enough. It's nice enough that it was absolutely worth the effort to do that, to try to see if I could keep it, right? And I'm happy that I did it. And I feel like if I were ever to sell this, someone else were to get this, I think they would enjoy the benefit of this more than what it originally was. You know, again, we can agree to disagree. You may not agree with me on that, and that's okay, right? But that's just my take on this one here, all right? Okay, so final thoughts, recommended? Yes, I do recommend it. Is it a favorite? Yeah, I think it's a favorite. I absolutely think it's a favorite. It's a favorite in how I did it. Would I recommend this without this? I think I would. I think I would. I would have a caveat saying it might be a little uncomfortable. Would it would it be a recommended? Yeah, it would be a recommended, sorry. And I would say I'd have a caveat if it was in there. Would it be a favorite? No, I don't think it would be a favorite without this mod. But because I did this mod, it's absolutely a favorite for me. So that's my caveat. This is a favorite because I modded it for my big meaty fingers. and I think it absolutely is worth it. So I'm happy with this. There you go. You can take that, take it or leave it, argue with me, disagree with me. I'm fine either way. Totally okay with that, right? We don't have to agree to we'll agree to disagree. But there you go. That's my thought on this particular knife. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. Any questions about that? Let me know in the comments down below. If you have the knife yourself, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experience on there. Maybe you can tell me why you think I'm wrong. The only thing I ever ask in my community, in my comments, is for myself. I hold myself to the same standard, because if I slip, because I'm human, but I expect the same of myself and I expect the same of everybody else. Just respectfully disagree, right? Don't call anybody you're stupid, whatever. Just respectfully disagree. Tell me why, but tell me why rationally and respectfully. I will tell you why as well, why I disagree. But we can agree to disagree. It's all right. All right, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? If you've already hit that like button, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button. Subscribing and liking the channel, it helps me out. It really does. It helps me out to do more things, produce more content, and ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you to everyone out there who watches these videos, who's part of the comments, who's part of the live streams, part of the community, the chat. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you. Appreciate you guys. I'm humbled by your participation. You're part of the community. Honestly, I'm blown away, and I really mean that. Thank you. If you haven't already, maybe consider hitting the notification button as well, so you can be notified of future content like this and other videos. A lot of you guys don't have the notification turned on. That's fine. If you don't want to be notified, I get it. But if you like the content, maybe consider it. Just a thought. Just a thought. All right. Also want to say a big thank you, shout out to my channel members. You guys do two amazing things. You encourage me. I don't do this full time. I do it part time. So thank you. And also by your generous support, you allow me, by your memberships, you allow me to do things sooner than I thought I could. You allow me to do a weekly Budget Banger giveaway. I couldn't afford that with borrowing knives, shipping knives, memberships, buying giveaways, because I for the longest time, I bought almost all my giveaways. Been getting a few nicer giveaways lately thanks to people being generous to the channel, and that's kind of amazing and cool. But I constantly remember that any of that occurs is because of you guys, and when I'm given that, I want to make sure you guys also reaped the benefit of that, right? If I get a free knife and I love it, I'm going to usually replace it with something in my collection that I'll give away for me to keep it. That's happened with a few knives that I really loved and I've decided to keep. There's one recently that I got that I'm probably going to buy the same knife so that we can give one away and I can keep one because I really like that knife. So anyways, and I don't have a lot extras to give away this time, so I might have to do that. But anyways, yeah, usually my rule is if I get a free knife, it's a giveaway, right? So that's just part of the thing, because most of the time I buy all the knives. You channel members allow me to do that. You allow me to do all these things so that I can do the weekly Budget Banger giveaway. I can check out knives, I can software applicate, all that stuff. I can do all this stuff for the channel. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. As a result, I want to do two things for channel members, exclusively for you guys, right? I want to send all new channel members a channel sticker and a thank you note. And I actually do write that. It's my small way to say thank you. All I ask is that you're actively a member, you've never asked or received a channel sticker. Now, 99% of the time, it's new channel members, but it could be someone who's a member all along and actively a member and never asked, or someone who was a member and then became a member again and is actively a member right now, but had never asked or received a channel sticker. If that's you, any of those cases, email me your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker. That's my way to say thank you. Now, if you become a channel member, you're a member for a year, you get the laser printed aluminum card that I send to you in a little padded envelope to say thank you. It's a special 1-year anniversary. 2 years, I do the holographic thank you magnets. It's really cool. You have exclusive content, you have emojis. All this stuff is part of being a member and my small way to say thank you to you guys, right? But we also do a once a month members exclusive giveaway on top of the Budget Banger giveaway. So in that month, there's going to be 1 week where we have 2 giveaways. One, the Budget Banger giveaway for everybody, but the members are eligible for both, also the members giveaway. And typically the members giveaway is a nicer knife, $100 or more. It's not just a Budget Banger, something hopefully I hope you would enjoy receiving as a gift, or winning as a prize, or giving as a gift, right? So something that you would find a value and appreciate. I always try to make sure it's something nice, right? That's my way to say thank you to you members. If any of that sounds interesting, if any of that sounds like, oh, I'd like to do that, there's a link down below in the description on how to become a member. I have 3 different tiers of basic, medium, and high. First of all, please don't ever feel pressured or obligated to be a member. Don't be a member unless you want to. And if you do, you choose to do that, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I'm humbled. I take that as a huge honor. Sincerely, I do. I take it as a huge honor, and I thank you for that. It does come with extra stuff, right? Exclusive content, emojis, all sorts of stuff, right? So that's just my way to say thank you. And that is my way to show my appreciation. And words are not enough, but I'll say it again. Thank you. But I also say thank you to everyone out there who watches the content, who's part of the live streams and part of everything. Thank you just for being there. I appreciate you guys all together. So thank you. If you haven't already, maybe check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.